Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's Kiki, which is Robyn coming out here and confirming that Juan had an affair, did we actually need this confirmation? I think we all knew. We're going to listen to the clip, okay? We are going to listen to the clip from the Reasonably Shady podcast with Robyn and Giselle, where she admits to knowing that he was having the affair and everything else that she is saying, okay? Now, I'm also going to dive into, I'm basically going to tear apart what she is saying because I think this is clearly two truths and about five lies, but we are going to get into it. But before we do, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. And also check out our description box down below. We have a ton of self-love and self-care content as well. Grab our newsletter. It's free. Get a free self-love guide and check out our self-love courses. So with that, you guys, let's dive right on in. So first up, let's go through an article from Love B. Scott on the situation, and then we're going to listen to it from Robyn's mouth herself, and then I'm going to tear them apart with all of the lies, my conspiracy theory, and what I think is really going on, and why I need Giselle to shut the hell up. All right, so let's go through the article real quick. Let me pull it up. Okay, so this is according to Love B. Scott. The Real Housewives of Potomac's cast member Robyn Dixon is admitting that husband Juan Dixon did, in fact, have an affair with a woman while they were engaged, and that's one of the reasons their wedding was delayed. Last week, a woman came forward with receipts claiming she had an affair with Juan and that Robyn knew about it. This is a different woman than the woman in Georgetown Karen Huger brought up a few episodes ago. So, side note, this means that Juan has cheated. One is, I guess we could still say allegedly with Karen's woman, but since Robyn's confirmed this other one, at least with multiple women at this point, multiple women. And that is in alignment with what his girlfriend said, his ex-girlfriend said. Remember, and I can play that clip too, to refresh everybody what really kicked this all off. She said in that clip, and I'll play that later again, just as a refresh. She said that Juan likes to go out and find girls and women to have sex with, and then him and his friends pass the women around. So this might be confirmation that this woman is not lying. In the latest episode of Robyn and Giselle Bryant's Reasonably Shady podcast, Robyn explained that the woman did contact her via Instagram DM and exposed Juan's affair, and that it's something they had to work through before they got married. Bye. Giselle added that the woman approached her with the information also, which led to Robyn to assume the woman contacted the other Real Housewives of Potomac ladies as well. Robyn explained that she knew going into season 7 that someone would eventually bring that particular affair up and was prepared to talk about it. But instead, Karen brought up another cheating allegation in Mexico that Robyn found, quote, laughable. All right, you guys, listen, let's listen to Reasonably Shady, okay? Let's listen to what they had to say on Reasonably Shady. I'm going to pull it up right now, and we're going to listen. One sec, you guys. Let me pull it up. All right.
I'm just ready for it. I'm waiting for it. And so when we're in Mexico and Ashley tells me that Karen, was talking about us, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is it. Right. And she talks about some blonde holding hand, him holding hands with a blonde in Georgetown.
Can you guys hear it? Put it down below if you can hear it. Hold on. Could you guys hear it? I want to make sure that you can hear it. Was the sound on? Can you hear it? Let me know if you can hear it. Yes? Okay, cool. Okay, let me back it up then. I just wanted to make sure. Yes, you can hear? Okay, cool. Okay. Let me put it back on.
I'm waiting for it. And so when we're in Mexico, and Ashley tells me that Karen, because you're 7, right? And because this young lady was so pressed to tell me, so on date. So what I will say, okay, so for y'all, I'm sure all y'all that are listening don't really know exactly what we're talking about because you don't, live on Instagram or whatever. TikTok, Twitter, whatever it might be. Young lady came forward talking about she and Juan dated during COVID. Mm-hmm. And she shows this like hotel receipt with his name on it. Right. Okay. That's legit. I don't know. I mean, that's the premise of the allegation. Right. Exactly. Yeah. So, what I want to say, okay. So what I want to say, first of all, I was aware of the situation. Mm-hmm. Before we filmed season 7. Right. And because this young lady was so pressed to tell me and to tell you, Giselle, yes, I assume she told the whole cast. Right. Because she DM'd me. Right. So all of season 7, I'm just like waiting for somebody to bring it up. Because, Karen is good for thinking she got some tea. Right. Uh-huh. Or anybody. I mean, like that's our life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just ready for it. I'm waiting for it. And so when we're in Mexico, and Ashley tells me that Karen, was talking about us, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is it. Right. And she talks about some blonde holding hand, him holding hands with a blonde in Georgetown that looks like Karen. I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Okay. Right. Whew. So that was, it was kind of comical to me. So then we go down that road. But however, I was already aware of the situation, and I expected to talk about it on season 7. Right. Now, the situation, when it was presented to me, was discussed. Mm-hmm. It was handled. It was something we had to work through, okay. It was not something that it was just like, oh, okay, whatever. Oh, yeah. No. However, there are a lot of things that need to be cleared up with what's being said with what allegedly happened, which did not. So, okay. And I want to almost maybe share the details for Patreon. Oh, yeah. We'll give the details on the Patreon. Yes. So go ahead on and subscribe. So I will give more details on Patreon. But what I will say is, yes, Juan was an idiot and communicated with this woman on Instagram, because whatever. He's bored. He needs attention. He's, it's the pandemic, blah, 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 whatever. Right. However, they did not date. He did not fly her anywhere. Right. And there is a reason why his name is on a hotel receipt, which I will share on Patreon. Yes. Boom. And the reason is not because he asked her to come and was volunteered to pay for this hotel room. Right. The end. Okay. Yes. And then I will say several things on Patreon, like, let me catch her outside. But, allegedly. But since she pretty much was trying to bribe Juan and told her that she was going to become famous off of us, then I don't know, girl, go maybe, I don't know, hopefully you can start an OnlyFans and get some money off of it or something. Yes, go show your booty on OnlyFans. Right. Yeah. But I will say, just with respect to Juan and I, we dealt with the situation. It was definitely something that, we had to work through relationship-wise. Maybe that's why the wedding didn't happen when y'all wanted it to. Oh, really? I mean, let's discuss. We'll discuss on Patreon. I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, it's just, you know what I'm saying? But so anyway, it was something that we dealt with, and, we're moving forward. Yes. And I'm happy that y'all are moving forward. And not to like go back to what I was talking about earlier, but I just want to make myself feel better. Yeah. Cher is dating somebody. And he's about 40 years younger than her. Okay. I'm just trying to make.
Okay, you guys, let's get into it. I'm about to tear them apart. I'm about to tear them apart. First of all, I think that Robyn and Giselle need to be fired from the show. That might sound harsh, but I don't care. They need to be fired. Number one, they both just admitted to lying, pretending that that Robyn and Juan were in an actual relationship. So lying to fake a storyline, because who's believing this crap at this point? And that they also were sitting on one of the juiciest storylines that Robyn could have ever had in her freaking boring life. You see what I'm saying? This to me is nothing but a fraud scheme. This is nothing but a lie. This is crazy. And they both are dumb enough to think that they can get over on us, but they just admitted on their podcast to lying to production, to lying to the rest of the ladies, to lying to us, and to sitting on this storyline. Now, this is how dumb they are. Robyn thinks that she's covering for Juan and herself by saying, well, I knew about it. And I thought she DM'd the other ladies. So I was just waiting to talk about it in the season. That's not how it works, boo-boo. You're supposed to bring your life and your storylines to the show to be talked about. For example, Ashley is messy as hell. And even though I still think her divorce from Michael is fake, she was at least smart enough to bring the storyline to the show. She came to the show, the season, right? Being like, oh, we're having these problems. We're separating, the divorce, blah, 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 blah. They were going to have this joint statement. She brought the narrative to the show. And then she was pissed when it was leaked because she wanted to leak it herself. But that's her taking ownership and bringing the storyline to the show. Robyn, first of all, you're lying. Girl, you're lying. And this is another thing that doesn't make any sense. You talked about the hotel receipt, right? I saw that someone was saying, I don't know if you said it in your Patreon because you didn't want to say it on your free content because you guys are so broke and thirsty for some money. You wanted to save your additional lies for your Patreon. But I heard what you said was that Juan paid for the hotel because she, quote, forgot her wallet or something like that. First of all, another bull-faced lie. I highly doubt this woman flew herself out to see him from wherever she was, flew herself out to see him, then offered to pay for her own hotel just to have him sleep with her. That doesn't make any sense, boo-boo. It usually works the other way around. The man will fly the woman out, pay for the hotel, and he will pay for the hotel after they have sex or whatever the case may be. That's how it usually works. So you really want me to think this woman spent her own money to fly herself out to have sex with Juan, and then she, quote, forgot her wallet. If she forgot her wallet, how did she get on the airplane with no ID? How was she about to get her flight back home with no ID? Your story doesn't make any sense. You're caught in a lie. You're caught in a lie. If the woman, quote, forgot her wallet, how is she flying, from state to state or from wherever the hell she's flying from to come and have a sexual rendezvous with Juan? Doesn't make any sense. Juan flew that woman out here for sex. He paid for the hotel. And I believe every word the woman said. I think his friend did. And again, this is all alleged rumors. I'm saying what I personally believe. I believe her. And and another reason why I believe her is because Robyn is now, and it's like what they say with criminals. Admit what you have to, deny what you can. That's what defense attorneys usually tell criminals. Admit what you have to, deny what you can. So she had to admit, and now we know the hotel receipts are legitimate. So why would this woman lie about some stuff but not other stuff? That doesn't make any sense. I think Robyn is the one who's lying. She's admitting what she has to admit. So now she's confirming that the hotel receipts are legit. So she had to, and this is another dumb part. If you were going to make up stories and lies to cover for yourself and to cover for Juan, you actually could have denied so much. You could have said, that's a fake hotel receipt. She printed one out and that's a Photoshop. You know what I mean? That's a screenshot and then they did Photoshop on it. But now that you've admitted that this woman is telling the truth and that her receipts are legitimate, now you're pretty much giving credence to the rest of what this woman is saying. You're admitting what you have to and you're denying what you can. So you're basically lying. I just don't buy this whole the woman forgot her wallet and Juan had to pay and he wasn't going to pay for the hotel. Are you kidding me? He's DMing an Instagram model and he's like, by the way, Instagram model, you have to book your own flight. And then when you get here, you're going to have to pay for the hotel room. Girl, bye. Miss me with that crap. Now, what else is she lying about? I also have a couple of questions on this. And I want to know what you candy canes think, okay? Do we believe that she thought this woman actually DM'd all of the other women on the cast and she was just waiting for the other shoe to drop? Because I'm of two minds of this. One, it could explain why she's been so angry this season and why she's been just, such a bulldog and just going after people. She went after Candace. She brought the speaker to the table and played her Instagram live. She went after Wendy, yelling at her and almost wanting to fight her until Charisse pulled her back, not inviting Wendy to stuff. She's gone relentlessly and aggressively and ferociously against Karen all season. Has she been acting like this bulldog, this aggressive bulldog, because she's trying to deflect from this story coming out? So that's one mind. But the other mind is, and I'm trying to put myself in Robyn's situation. I can't put myself in her mindset because she's just so freaking dumb. But if I was in a situation where I thought these women had this on me, am I going to provoke them into telling on me? If I really think they have this information, or am I going to try and just lay low in the cuts? So that's why there's a part of me that still doesn't even believe that is true, that she thought that this woman DM'd everybody in the cast. Because if I think that all of the women in the cast have this dirt on me, I might just try and lay low, keep quiet, the way Robyn always does until she's defending Gizelle. Just sort of blend in and be a big nothing burger until you have to go to bat for, your good girlfriend, Gizelle. So I'm of two minds. I want to know what you guys think on that one, though. I want to know what you think. Gizelle, shut up and keep Karen's name out of your mouth. Why did you keep, and this is another thing. I'm going to get to this in a second. But you also know that both of them are lying by their energy and their cadence. Giselle's being like, oh, I'm, catch me outside and Karen can't wait to tell the tea. It's like, shut up. Like, who talks like that? Like, talk normal. Like, you're trying to be like a huck and a jive. And to me, that means you both planned it. You both had a script and you're trying to act and pretend like this is the truth when you know that you're lying. Robyn also was stumbling over her words, trying to get it out, trying to keep her story straight. Neither one of them came across as two people who were authentically telling a story. They both came across as liars and people who made something up trying to cover this stuff up. Gizelle, keep Karen's name out of your mouth. Even Robyn was like, no, not just Karen. I just meant like in general. Like, Gizelle, just leave Karen alone. Like, leave her alone. Keep her name out of your mouth. And what does Karen have to do with any of this stuff? I know Karen brought up the Georgetown girl, but if you're saying the Georgetown girl is a totally different person, then Gizelle, keep Karen's name out of your mouth. The obsession is real. The obsession is real. I think that they had an agreement with Ashley. I think they probably talked to Ashley about the situation and they had an agreement, which is why I think Ashley would have ran back to Robyn no matter what. But I think this is another big reason why Ashley ran back to Robyn to be like, oh, Karen's going to bring it up. Because I think that they probably had some type of an alliance with Ashley on the situation. This also sheds new light on the conversation that Juan and Robyn had when he got so angry. I think he got so angry because, like she said, if she's being honest, they were waiting for that moment. They were waiting for the moment where one of the women was going to bring up this fact that this woman was out there saying that she had cheated with Juan. So they were sitting on ready to have this conversation. Do I think Juan's reaction was genuine? Still, Yes, I still think it was genuine, and the fact that he was overreacting and he was so angry because he was trying to deflect from the truth. It was all deflection. Oh, I'm gonna cuss these women out and Robyn, what's to them? Same thing. It's just like Juan, like you're a very bad actor because you're coming across guilty as hell. Guilty as hell. When all of the other husbands have had cheating allegations against them, none of them reacted in anger. Not even Chris Samuels. Chris Samuels acted in hurt and betrayal. Chris Bassett reacted in hurt and betrayal. Eddie just laughed it off and was just like, whatever. The only person who reacted in anger was Juan. Not even Michael Darby reacted in anger. Michael Darby was just like, and what? He was like, and what are you broke chicks gonna do about it? Nothing. Even Michael Darby didn't react in anger. He was covering it up. And this is another thing, Robyn. You can't just sweep the true allegations of the situation under the rug. Because I don't think anybody really cares about Juan sleeping with an Instagram model. We don't care. Let him get it in. Who cares? We don't care. What we care about is what this woman is saying about being in the hotel room and Juan's friend coming in and exposing himself and expecting her to do a sexual act on him that she did not consent to and did not want. And it scared her to the point where she's totally cut Juan off 100%. I believe her. Because now where there's a lot of smoke, there has to be a lot of fire. And now that you've admitted to some of it, I think it's just now it's really gonna unravel. You know, people were saying, and they're making a good point. They're making a good point, not that it's good, but they're making a good point that it's valid. They were saying how, you know, in the sports industry or the sports culture or, you know, stuff like that, that sometimes, unfortunately, these guys do get together and pass women around. So it may not be sex trafficking, but to me, it's still a very horrible, unethical, traumatizing, just disgusting thing to do to another human being. I don't care if this person is an adult. I don't care if they're, quote, consenting. Passing a human being around for sex with multiple people, I don't know. That's just that. I don't know. To me, that is always exploitation. I'm not talking about swingers getting together or, you know, consenting adults having like an orgy or something like that. Whatever. Like, it's not for me, but whatever. You live your life, you do you. But the way she said it seemed very dark. It seemed very exploitative. It did not seem okay. Why is Robyn not addressing that? That is what she really needs to address. Oh, what they're saying is not true. Blah, blah, blah. She wants to get famous off of us. She wants to be da. Doesn't seem like she wants to be famous off of you because A, where is her? I haven't seen anybody actually say what her identity is. B, she did not post this on her own social media channels. She gave it to other people to post. So I'm not exactly sure what you mean that this woman is trying to get fame off of you guys. And then you're being very derogatory and victim shaming and saying she needs to go on OnlyFans when this woman has basically said she was a victim of at least an attempted assault. She never said if she actually was forced to do the physical act, but she was put in a position where she felt forced that she had to, but she never said if she had to actually go through with it. That to me is the biggest situation going on. I personally could care less about Juan and who he sleeps with because you and Juan aren't even in a real relationship. Stop lying. And you need to be fired at this point. You really need to be fired. And if Bravo production and executives don't fire you, then I'm looking at them real crazy because you're literally sitting on the most relevant, the most real storyline I think you've ever had, and you didn't even bring it to the show. Didn't they fire Kenya because, should they put Kenya on pause because she got married outside of the show, right? Didn't you guys get, quote, married outside of the show? And Juan had a whole entire affair and you didn't bring that to the show? And you kept it a secret? You should be fired for that. You should be fired for that. And it's also, is that why you're going around trying to tear down everybody else's marriages and everybody else's families and talking about everybody else's men? So you think that you and Giselle have the right to bring up everybody's families and situations on the show? But if anybody says one thing about you and your fake relationship, you crumble and then you attack? Robyn, you had no problem talking about Eddie's cheating allegations. You had no problem talking about Michael Darby's cheating allegations. You had no problem talking about Chris Sam, or it wasn't even Chris, it was Monique's cheating allegations, Karen's cheating allegations. You had no problem. But when somebody says something that is actually true about you and your so-called husband, roommate, and relationship, you crumble, you can't handle it, and you lash out. To me, you need to be fired. You need to be fired, okay? Let's see what else I have on this list, and then I want to talk to you guys, the candy canes, okay? Also, Giselle, shut the hell up. Miss me with the catch me outside. Giselle, you can't do anything. You can't dance. You can't dress. You can't read or shade. Just shut up, Giselle. And I'm really tired of, and also, why are you trying to fight the woman when it's Juan who is allegedly, quote, cheating? Why are you trying to fight the woman? Shut up, Giselle. Just go away. Go away. All right. I think that's all I had. So stick around, candy canes, because I want to take your candy cane questions and comments. But anybody watching this on the replay, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend, because a kiki is always better with community. And put it down below. I want to know what you guys think. Do you think, I personally think this podcast episode did more harm than good. I think that they exposed themselves for being liars and frauds. I think the fact that she has now admitted that these women's receipts are genuine, I think it gives more credence to the rest of the women's allegations that they're saying against her. I mean, against Juan and his friends. And I really think she needs to be fired at this point. You're sitting on an authentic, true storyline, and yet this entire season, what you chose to do was systematically and violently and relentlessly attack other women, i.e. Wendy, i.e. Karen. So put it down below. Let me know what you guys think. And be sure to join our newsletter and get a free self-love guide. With that, you guys, let's take some of your candy cane questions and comments. And also, let me know, do you want to hear again the